African and global status. Once again, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Seems a good night. God bless you.
And also, we have here Mrs. Italy for joining us online. We have the general virtually, we have an excellency and master of professional Hamza and also is joining us virtually. Alright, just move on to the keynote address now. Um, let's receive the keynote address. Virtually, we have His Excellency Ambassador of Professional Mohammed and is joining us virtually. Alright, let's move on to the keynote address now. Um, let's receive the keynote address. Did you record? Should get that. Okay, the protocol is that this afternoon will be having a panel session, on which further shed light and also discuss integration those possibilities testing into Nigeria's health system. This is a function that is the purpose of this event this afternoon also when we have a panel session features on the products that will be further shed light and also discuss integration those discuss integrating telemedicine into Nigeria's health system. So we'll see a lot of conversation on that summit. Much of the features of the products that will be able to see like this. Right, there's while we deal with the visitors.
The keynote address. Mainstream men's position. Jesus is not. That's the sentence. The keynote address. Mainstream men's position.
Right, our keynote address is coming from our special guest who joined us virtually to try to start a connection with him here. But with the time, we'll get the presentation and that was all by the product manager. This is better. This was there like for me. Right, our keynote address is coming from our special guest who joined us virtually to try to start a connection with him here. But at the time, we get the presentation, and that was all by the product manager. Mr. Better. And it's coming up now. Please listen to it together for me as it comes forward.
Once the platform is announced, that's the smart meeting platform. Like before, it's present and message like lines. There's a part of AI and use it on the reports for the traditional ideas and what actually product manager and the overall stream. Once the platform sign out, that's the customization can solve like the line it's a universal platform. There's the part of AI can use to works to do institutional AI system of use able to use services and use websites, virtualization, material first language, real language, and also very special AI system which we can use in certain systems. So that's why the AI on system is able to suggest some, as to some of these basic stuff. You get to a point where if you're signing off, or if you can say you're going to be signing on like the top, or also special AI system which we can use inside the system. So that's patient. Firstly, identification, you can as well sign up as a doctor. Then we have an agency plan as well for especially rural signing on. For instance, government decided to have a smart device, just sign on but if you identification agency, firstly identification, you can as well sign up as a doctor. Then we have an agency plan as well for especially rural reservations to you don't necessarily to have a smart device. You don't necessarily maybe doctors but you can go to an agency like you would. You register, you sign on, you patient account, experience, which I have signed up. I have an account, I'm already signed instead of all about patients. I'm also my what I'm done right is I'm also going to sign the patient profile, the doctor's information about patient and consultation. Let's say patient comes to the platform and the patient account consult the doctor, which I have signed is a right to ask for the patient instead of paying some funds on my for the top right, you see the patient profile, the information about the patient, the consultation, let's say the patient comes to the platform and consult the doctor. This one is a right so that every particular time you use the system, you can be referred have had some conversations with the doctor and that. Part of the human consultations, this was an appointment that was scheduled, and because it's not work time, that's why you can see.
Sorry, excuse me.
This is, yeah, that's inside. The person was not yet
So
time,
you
that's why
are
you
not
can
saying
see
you are saying.
appointment is referenced. Of course, you can also call a message or change the part of the human consultations. This was an appointment that was scheduled, and because it's not yet time, that's why you can see the appointment. Yeah, that's because it's not yet time. That's why you can see the appointment is pending. Of course, you can also call a message and change it to all of these things are very possible. Because some doctors will have that your first just appointment, your first setting of when you take find out how to set up. So when you set an appointment on the doctor's page, the doctor has to be a real doctor. Then you call down the that's the consultation. All of those things are made possible. These are doctors information you want to change your first things. Your first setting up your availability time. You have to set up the time and doing so that you teach you just follow this information. These are just a few. Then if you call down, that's the consultation on the profile. Let's say the patient comes manually into your wallet. The patient's information, you want to change any of these things. Maybe your wallet has changed. All of those information you can just click on the wallet, ready to go. There's information. You have this part. On the wallet, that's where you have the integration managed into your wallet so that your payment systems here. If you want to find your wallet, you want to see the balance, all those information. I see that if you want to find your wallet, we have integrated that we have the integration we have the integrations into the payment systems. Right, let's see. Related to the wallet. You see our selected. That's depending on you have any so to use them to do the consultations. That's for the wallets. Then the hospital name, this is another very important feature which you have in terms of predicted cases of emergency. It's going to load up alarm. You see I was having to and then That's the credits I just give you. So you have them so that you're able to use them to book your consultations. That's for the wallets. Then the hospital here, this is another very important feature which you have put in terms of in cases of emergency. Basically, what it does is going to let them once you turn on your location, the time, yeah, just from that home. Once you turn on your location, let's say the patient, for instance, as you turn on your location, you can see the facilities that are within your neighborhood so that in case you have emergency, all of that. So here, yeah, currently these are the healthcare. So but basically what it does is that once you turn on your location per time, yeah, to align with them in the future. Once you turn on your location, let's say the patient referrals to them, as you turn on your location, all of these are the facilities that are within your neighborhood. So that's in case of emergency, all of that. So that's what we are currently. This is for the healthcare facilities that are one of the environments. So we also have very serious plans to align with them in the future so that we can also be making referrals to them in terms of now let's go back to the AI end of things in terms of emergency. That's what it's saying. That's what when I was talking about this is just referral. One of the things that happens, let's say doctor has accepted to attend to the application, you're going to see notifications and then if you haven't been able to also includes that. So that's what you see on this side. Now let's go back to the AI to this part. Some of these are again, that's what you see. When I was saying about when you book an appointment, you can chat. One of the things that happens, let's say doctor has accepted to attend to you. Let's say you see the notification here, and then if you haven't been able to also includes that notification inside your email. Then this is the part to this the AI part of it. So it's already understands. Let's say you're coming in here, you're able to you can chat. Let's chat with doctor. That's the automation. Let's say this one. So how are you feeling today? You can respond to this conversation. So asking you already understand everything is sensitive. That's why it's asking how to feeling today. Let's say after the conversation, we go training. Very easy. That's why we have some doctors and also inside the system. That's also why we have some you can go on get this conversation. It's not asking some of these kind of questions that the doctor is also going to ask you while in my system. Why healthcare systems get you to that conversation progresses in parents. Is this a symptom referring to? That's why we have a journal some doctors are also inside the system. That's also why we have the hospitals near me. So we get to some points, all of these things, we did all those things behind the scenes with the use of our AI systems, right? So it can get you to that point where you can do referrals. Yeah, maybe it's a symptom to also be able to understand that how to talk about for a while. So that's how we use the intelligence of the system. That's why we need and listen and all that. This is for the charting part of it. Then the other very beautiful part of it is that we should also be able to talk to it, right? We have more than one mistake, so that especially for the understand that trans about for a while. So that's how we use the intelligence of the system. That's why people feeling this and we all that. This is for the charting part of it. Then the other very beautiful part of it is that we should also be able to talk to it. That's right. We have localized it so that especially for the rural dwellers, when Prof was presenting, I did mention some of these things. They do not need the rural and the rural area. They do not need to be shut out of technology. They do not need to be shut out of some of these things that they're doing. And that's why we have had to bring in the languages. It speaks, of course, Dr. Mayfield speaks a lot more that information so far, and we have higher plans to release higher versions of it. Let's do English. Hello, doctor. I feel that it. All right. Yes, it's been going on for a while. No. It takes that information which I have given to processes. All right, yes, it's been going on for a while now. It is taxation that is asking you, and then it processes. Then I haven't actually tried to take some rest. Maybe I'll start from there. Let me take some rest and see whether I can feel better. So he's asking you just the same way you do that converse with doctor or healthcare or physician, and then asking you questions, at the end of the day, you're able to make referrals, find out what the disease or diagnose the issues, so that also happens. That's so he's asking you just the same way you do that converse with doctor or a healthcare or a physician, and then they're asking you questions, at the end of the day, they're able to make referrals and find out what the case is, diagnose the issue, and that conversation also happens. Yes, that's sitting there. So when you come back another time and you're trying to talk to it, more like it has your health history, it's giving all of this information so that it can use them even in see how the conversation is taken. So let's go back and all these conversations. Like let's go back and system wise skipping them. When you come back another time and you're trying to talk to it, more like it has your health history. It's keeping all of this information so that it can use them even in future times. So let's go back and try another thing. Let's go outside for the purposes of this demonstration. Since all the same you did in English, is still also going to do it this time around, and then give you response. For the first time, I did
So where should I speak on the phone? Papa, very much. Is pure household person, just be household. They are normally when people speak
Let it out. And then show somehow.
Thank you. Um, thank you. All right. Some of these conversations we have chats and everything. That's the same way all of these things are kept and goes into your phone. Let's say if you, for instance, you just talk to a doctor, if you see says all of these that you have got details for consultation, yes. That's the way it works of this part. And then of course, if it refers you, what it does at the referral level is that this is where you can enter the list of specialists within the system. So if it refers you, this is actually where it puts in the data. This is where it puts the list of doctors, both the live doctors, the AI doctors, and all of them that are within the system. That's where you just, depending on your case actually. If you go back there, you find that there are different specialties there, depending on the case. That's why that first part where you have to, converse, chat with it, talk to it in the local language, and once it's able to get to the point where it understands the area where the issue is coming from, then it refers you to any of these areas of specialty. And when you come into this place, you're going to see the doctors that are there. The real life doctors, you see the real life doctors, you see the AI doctors as well, and then you make your choice. On the doctor end of the system, if you're trying to sign up as a doctor, um, like I said from the beginning, before signing up, you're signing up maybe as a doctor, you're signing up as a patient, you can as well be signing up. You can as well be signing up. That's the sign up page. You can as well be signing up as an agency. You can sign up as a patient. The one I just did, I signed up as a patient. If you come in and sign up as a doctor, if you sign up as a doctor, it takes your information, both your license, all of those information, it takes all that. We have a big part of the system where all those data are going to, and they are vetted, right? The doctors that are vetted by the relevant authorities that are responsible for them. That one is not really important, like it's human. It has to be vetted, and they need the license, more documents, they're vetted. So the doctor is approved and then listed. That's how those doctors get to the platform, and then it's able, they are available for people to access them. They are available for people to access them. That's what happens when the doctor owns of the system. And I think I will be stopping here and thank you. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Let's go to the today. That's all stuff there. All right, before we get into our conversation this afternoon, I'd like to recognize a few people here. I recognize um, the ED of the Uniform Group. Constituents the current here, just the one. Constituency. Welcome. And also recognize Lieutenant Colonel and Maker who's representing the Director General of I'll say this also in case. Also, the president told them to try and find a warm. Yeah, that's why he's really not a go back to the I'm just saying, I think it's sounds set up. Yeah, I think the conversation. It's knowing how that's to see. Yes, it's like okay. That's your excellent. That is like I'll move the okay, boss. Listen.
All right. Having we have a problem with you, your business, seeing that we have a panel session where we'll be um, discussing integrating telemedicine into Nigeria's health system, such a profound conversation to have to have. And I'd like to please pay attention and listen as much as we can. For the session, we have for the panel session, we have actual and make that a little lot. And so it's all people for then we also have the partial plan, but then you have to explain the two lots of separately up to the association is around then I we don't really well, we need to have a little bit. Let's it's all the to bed. Like I'm not from last bed. All right, I don't know. And first. See how the program is set up. What about now? Is it better? Is it Hello, Hello, boss. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Paul. I come here 20 years as a doctor, medical doctor, clinician by training. Been practicing medicine for just 6 years now. Um, Medical field in Nigeria with eight. So here that in speaking Sam to the outside of business career as well. So my passion has always been how to see the ecosystem and merits and healthcare practitioner this part of the world. So after practicing about what was still my best to do as a practice my best and felt that Nigeria was the next piece I felt I could add the most value. as a trained physician, also have a passion for training and education. And I think that with the level of technology, we can sort of synchronize and as a rate at least to train more medical practitioners. I think that this is what I saw is I think is very promising on how to essentially improve health, not just like the cheapest access to healthcare and also very importantly health options. That's something that we can do from next to nothing in the nation. We're not necessarily a very wealthy nation like we sometimes think we are, but some of the cheaper ways of use the healthcare on top and things actually to more perspective to help promotions, easy access to healthcare, and then finally being able to train as many people as possible for the workers and also nurses and doctors for the least amount of money. That's when you can gain a huge amount of with my face. It's the first year and looking forward to very engaging interaction. Thank you.
Thank you. You just quoted. Let's have for him. Well, let's get straight to Dr. Chika. Yes. Let's talk about smart medic now. Let's talk about the scheduling, the communication, the prescription. What we have just seen, by the product manager, the life launch and skill we have just seen here. What's your take about the convenience of my smart medic?
Thank you for that very good question. So my sister retired with it from one of the Eastern states as the director of the ministry. And I'm giving that detail because it's important to say. She accesses healthcare from a multi-specialty private hospital where she lives. But every time she falls seriously ill, I have to bring her to Abuja because she sees the doctor, they do the things they do, but somehow it's not usually satisfactory. And I'm saying this to lay a foundation that we're talking about rural areas, but everybody needs it. It's a service that is important to everyone. If she had access to this app, for instance, she wouldn't need to take that flight and come all the way to Abuja to come and get the quality of care that she requires. So, my smart medic, I find it to be something that is very useful. And I noticed that they talked about advisory, which really talks about preventive health. And one of the biggest problems we have with healthcare in Nigeria is out of pocket expenditure. Most of us pay for our health from our pockets. If I ask how many people here have health insurance, please can you oblige me if you have health insurance? One, two, three, four, five. And how many are we? So that's my point. Most of us, when we're ill, we just go to the hospital. It's point of care and everything is out of pocket expenditure. Someone had said that most of us are just one major disease away from poverty. And if you think about it, for some people, it's the cesarean section that drives them into poverty. For some people, it's maybe a road traffic accident. So what am I saying? I'm saying that if you can have access to preventive health information from where you are, you don't have to wait till something happens. It puts you in a position where you're able to use that money to solve other family needs. I don't need to tell us what the economy is like for the average Nigerian today. So my smart medical is a very useful tool for everyone.
Level plus, please. Thank you. Right, Dr. Emeka, let's talk about the area of reduction in patients with time. I mean, Dr. Chika just shared a very, very powerful story. So, I mean, which can also translate to unnecessary expense in travel time and all of that. Also in follow-up and routine checks. And what's your take on the convenience of my smart ready?
Well, I saw what I saw was just I think a glimpse of its potential. It does have a very responsive sort of interface, which I think is very welcome. I do like the fact that there's a production suite like where you can actually load credits to that license because no matter how we look at and dissect it, there's no place in the world where healthcare is free. Whether we like it or not, someone has to pay for it. So I think that where we are ultimately heading to Nigeria, I'll get to your question, sir, is that there needs to be an ability to pay for healthcare rendition. All right. So where we eventually will get to is where we have platforms like SmartMedic that can serve as an agent to collect or vehicle to collect money to pay some sort of healthcare trust. Okay, so just like what we see, the gradual migration of the power sector to now being done by individual groups where you buy credits, you load it and you get power. That ultimately, I think healthcare will come to. Obviously, the government is responsible for its own part to provide its own benefits to citizens. But ultimately, there's no nation in the world, let's not deceive ourselves that someone was one pay or was supporting what we call healthcare. All right. Fundamentally, healthcare is the right of the citizens, but they need to be responsible enough to do the right things so they can enjoy the benefits of it. All right. Now, where do I see its potential to sort of increase or improve access is the fact that if it's a downloadable application, most individuals can actually have the first consult or access to medical advisory using this platform. So if we try the process, they say not just list one complaint. So if you say I'm having headache and I have weakness, can it what we call it medicine triage? Can it tell you that this is a combination of headache with weakness is not just malaria? All right. So it needs to be scaled to the where based on that information is, it can direct you to best sort of facility, which is like it does not just include hospitals, I would say. You should include pharmacists, you should include laboratories and that whole ecosystem. So what we can try out to see this if you don't list just one complaint and list two, three complaints, can this sort of direct you in the right direction? Many a times, there's this confirmed data. The national hospitals is considered pulmonary, like the highest level of hospitals in the world for level of care. 80% of people who's national hospital go for primary care and secondary care cases. So hence why you see the crowd. So if we can be able to dissect and send this to the right appropriate places that get clear, you will see that likely national support will be able to offer the best of care that can be offered. Right? So it's very what I see here is the potential for this to be a means of good triage. You to triage a particular thing. You have malaria for 2 days, there is go here. You have XYZ will recommend you go to the nearest government hospital, just secondary tertiary care hospital, immense potential. But again, I must bring up this factors, which is to say that we cannot and should not see ourselves think that healthcare is should be free. We've done this for many years in this nation. It is not sustainable. We need to create a platform where we can all journey pool money together and be able to have a pool where we can have hopefully to render healthcare to the majority of Nigerians and not just a subsector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Okay. Here. Let's move on to our next discourse, which we're looking at the success of MySmartMedics now, not just in terms of utilization, but we're looking at the clinical outcome of them, how it can be improved, all of that. But let's ask you, Dr. Emeka, what or how would you define the success of MySmartMedics? What would be your metrics, especially looking at how patient handled that and how issues are also handled. How would you define the success of my smart meters?
In terms of what I just saw, so,
Now you just saw,
yes.
yes.
I really, I'm very impressed. I'm really impressed. I've been doing this for close to now 30 years of using called a Bible technology to routine healthcare practice. The interface is really impressive. I like the fact that you can switch up between the back end and the front end, the clinical side, which be admin side, and being able to just create a stack of available all-in-one software. Normally, this comes separately, but the fact that you can integrate the clinical aspect along with, say, the AI components, which will serve us as a triage, I think it's a remarkable happening tonight. I mean, I really would like to talk to the vendors to help them get a subscription for our taxes.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's need to go to Chica now, to get your take, ma'am, on how you would evaluate the success of my smart.
Okay, so I'd like to start by saying I like the fact that it speaks. It's not just about typing, because we know that the greater majority of Nigerians are not literate. So many people can talk, they can even speak pidgin English, but they can't write what they are saying. So I like the fact that the the bots, is that what it's called, can talk. So I believe, I don't know, but maybe I should ask, can the user speak to it? Okay, so the user can speak to it, and it, oh yeah, we watched that actually. So I think that is really great. I think it's also for Nigeria in particular. So you don't have to be looking for, oh, I don't know how to spell, what my problem is or whatever. So you speak to it, it speaks back. I think that's really a hugely successful feature. So what would I consider a success is that clients get on this app, use it, are satisfied, and call other people and say, hey, we have a doctor we can use right here at the tips of our fingers. And we have numbers. We have institutions, healthcare institutions signing up. And like Dr. Neka referenced, the whole ecosystem coming on would make it even more successful. Because if a user talks to a doctor or even just talks to the bot and gets some response, invariably there's going to be some kind of lab testing, some kind of investigation. So how do they get back? How do they deal with that? So there has to be an interface where you can have maybe laboratories signing on their own interface, and both the doctor and the user, the patient, is able to interact with them, and they're able to send the results back to the doctor, etc., etc. So point being, if we have a total picture, I understand that this is a starting point and that there will be several iterations of it. So, and I expect that every iteration will be based on research and not on assumption. Because sometimes those of us who are medical healthcare professionals, we think we know what the patient needs. But the patient is the expert in their own body. They may not have technical information. So you need them as much as they need you as a healthcare professional. So I believe that the future iterations will be based on research, finding out from the users, so how is this working for you? Do you have any frustrations there? Any pain points over there? And then look for ways to now iterate it to improve on those things. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. There's another question about Chica. Now, one very important part of fantastic ideas like this are the policy makers, and those who are responsible for making our policies that drive, that drive development, that drive, the running of, government and society. Uh, and my next question has to do with the policy makers as professionals that you are. I mean, what would you best to who's in charge of our policies, especially our health policies. I mean, I'm going to be battling with to see this work. I'm going to be battling with policies that would start like companies like this that are coming up with innovative ways to make healthcare accessible. What message to our policymakers?
Thank you for that question. It's really interesting because about 2 weeks ago, I was at the meeting for the Legislative Network on Universal Health Coverage. It was convened by the Senate Committee Chairman on Health, distinguished Senator Ibanigo Haribanigo. And digitizing, supporting digitalization of health services was a key point of discussion. And this issue of political will came up again and again. And the Minister of Health was there, the Senate, the House of Reps, all the committee chairmen of health were there. And they came to an agreement that government is ready to support through policy and whatever way that they can the fast tracking of effective healthcare to the average Nigerian, observing that using digital means is inescapable. It's something that must be done for us to achieve universal health coverage. I understand there's a digital health services bill, a draft bill that is available now. And they're working on it, and there's a commitment that they will fast track it and pass the bill so that it will support efforts such as MySmartMedic.
Let's thank you very much, ma'am. Let's hear from Dr. Jessica.
Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a politician, so I will say that it is, and may God help us all. The number one thing we can do to start correcting this system is if we publicly ban public office holders from flying overseas for healthcare. It's a very simple thing. It might sound very cool, but if we can enact that rule within the governmental policy makers, we will quickly see the reversal of what has been the state of healthcare over the last 30, 40 years. Okay, there's confirmed fact that in 1971, a group of brown places into the University College Department to access care from Nigerian doctors. And that's how the migration in the from 75 and 2008 of Nigerian doctors migrated to the Arab world started. So we've always had the capacity. But what I feel this is just I don't want to say the or lack of will, or just taking the easy way out, or selfishness in being able to think of healthcare as a human right. It's not healthcare, security, housing, access to education should be part of the government's free giving to citizens. We shouldn't be taken as something like we're just helping you, like you're sharing rights. The one thing that we can do is we can prioritize healthcare, especially between women and children. All right, there is a correlation between the level of education of the child based on how healthy the woman is. If the woman spends most of her time nursing herself, and she will likely not have time to have that child go to school, and vice versa. If that child ends up being sick most of the time, that woman can never become a productive citizen of the community of the society. So we need to take health security extremely seriously, especially since we're getting to close to 250 million Nigerians, where some 4%, some 5% by 2050 will be less than 40. Okay, so mean that you're getting to 40, if 75% are starting to become older and start coming up with medical issues, and we don't have a way to manage that, we can say we're a large population, we can produce, we can, we're unhealthy. It diminishes that large size that we have. So we need to take health security very important. And I think the easiest way to do this is just ban foreign travel of our government functionaries overseas for healthcare. And you definitely see the reversal. Thank you.
I thank you. As we wrap up, very quickly, so as we wrap up, for what you've seen so far, what are the areas you think MySmartMedic can face as this begins to roll out as a professional? what do you think you think might be bottlenecks that they need to look at?
Okay, I mean, I really enjoyed this really, like the Chica just mentioned. I like the fact it can interface with multiple languages. I think that is extremely powerful too. Going forward, I will look forward to more integration and networking with the practitioners, being the end users, the doctors, the nurses, the community health workers, the chemists, the drug merchants and retailers. Those are all ways where that's always would advocate and access care. Even the traditional medicine vendors, if you can create that network and proof where people can feel comfortable enough to use and share information, I think this would be quite revolutionary. So I think has a lot of potential. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Mr. Back.
My interest is in actually, I believe the chairman said something about democratizing healthcare. And so I would like a situation where we have the HMO somehow integrated into the system so that individuals don't have to load money. As we have, I mean, if you're insured, then you don't have to load money. There should be a way that the system thinks that yes, you are insured with this HMO, and then you just get the service without having to load the money. So I'd like to see that, and I'd like to also hope that my smart medics can, in some way, as they grow, they are also able to spread that gospel of health insurance, because I think the average Nigerian still doesn't even understand what that is or how it works and that it benefits them. So I'd like to please see that actualization of democratization of health. So that's Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go ahead together for our panelists, Dr. Emeka Moma and Dr. Chika Neto. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please come back till they get to the seats. All right. Now we're having the panel session. We had a few more special guests who made their way in. I'd like to recognize the person of Mrs. Adeda Patience from the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, representing the Director of Public Health. She here. Please let us get from how you're welcome now. And also, we have Mrs. Migwe, representing Her Excellency Zinaria Roma Kechi Ojutukoyancha for Woody and also for Her Excellency Roger still welcome. Thank you. All right. Set first to have a keynote address, and like I said earlier, he's joining us virtually, His Excellency Ambassador Professor Mohammed M. Khan. Right? All right, let's receive the keynote address now. Thank you. All right, please. I think I promise to have a technical issue. I know what you're going to be. It's well before giving the address. Can we wait for comment for whose message could be representative of the Director General of DICOM, Major General Vijay Alaya, represented by Lieutenant Colonel Emeka Peter was working on the moves forward to those to the message. DICOM, the National Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria. Let's get up to the best here.
Like, you're deciding. Please get away. Stay on follow these statistics. I was not going to get the references. The best university of the title. No, that I have, I don't know. This is one of the outside. The government wants because the meeting, the chief always started. In fact, I was not saying this. What happened now is just an ambush. So you shouldn't hear about ambush in Northeast. This is what they are going to. Most of here at about 1100 hours. I stood 300 hours last night and I was just doing when you're gonna represent me in this event. And that's your information. And I asked again, can I please have the contact of the person I was given the contact of one officer, just to take the name, to give me the address. Okay, that was by the keynote, whatever keynote address or whatever, I say what I need to say. Under my director. No come. This group is ours. In the sense that the unicorn rights, the company is in alliance with Daikon. The one was signed in like last year, 2024. Following the Asian president assenting Daikon Act of 2023. Moreover, every defense related product in this country must come to that benefit further. The contract that have honoring parents to foreign that defense department, arms and ammunition, robotics, and human whatever, Daikon should be involved. Reason for monitoring. To avoid the ones who most of the same, we should be able to save life going through the hands of wars, the God was. In other words, I should be, in fact, we are called hosting of this event. Meaning, you understand what I mean? We're in agreement with them, we're being with them. So whatever they do here, we do it for equally. So on that note, I want to appreciate my director, the director general asked me to appreciate all that have left their endeavors or they're going to come and witness this very occasion or this launching of smart medics, my smart medics. Which I call it what I wanted to speak with the prof that he has plenty of work to do. Talk to the agent as a work what presenting things to Minister of Defense. Now this has a lot to do with us in the bush fighting. And you know military have national health insurance scheme. So this could leverage because like what the doctor was saying, for Americans, it's not for free. Somebody got to pay the bill. So there are ways of what thank you with the military and it helps what very much. Because if you want to go for not this operation, not only take care of people, whether you are so because it's an option, you want to go to outside country, those things will not it. So what if whether it was a hand of 10 was an advancing my people's high. The equaling was to take it behind and take what I need to do. So sir. So have to we ask you to continue later. So that continue later. They'll be a room or they'll time you. So everything is relevant presentation. Thank you and start.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, before we also get back into our review message or our keynote address, let's also welcome Mr. Bettel, who's got some information for us concerning the community, very important information that we should hear. Please let's make welcome the product manager, I think. Yes, Mr. Bettel, let's get it from him as the points.
What I want to also support him before he gets served. Let me start with the visiting protocol. I really enjoy the Bible section and cooking the news and the cheetah. I want to return more to the social impact aspect of this project, which we kept for last in the aspect of the community we're talking about. We have a pilot trial with the different community as we are very about solving problems and not politicians. We found that pilot trial, the people that are going to have access to activity or examples, how are we accelerating? So the model we demonstrated is not the same most of the communities because those ones are also totally staying the place. Nice location. That is stakeholder. Yes, yes, I was you. All the community was also by an entity. Now to the board. So I mentioned hardware. We will be showing the hardware, the smart wearable, and all the nine vitals that we will use as data because AI works with data. And the doctors, if we're talking about medicine, the doctor cannot, okay, this is, um, now, this is quite different from the traditional smartwatch because there's a phone system with it. Like the hospital, there's they put the bar there, and it's a kind of a phone, kind of stimulate pressure, so that the ends and we are free states. So this is quite smart, but it's more medical than a wristwatch. It's not a wristwatch. So it takes up to nine vitals. So if these days when they have and this MSN smart medic tower, this is the two major keys the community needs. Then
Just
what
put it.
will be the powers or give shelter to the community in the situation where they have a business shelter and power because it's important. Then this is just all they need. With the training of one of the extension workers. So this can also function where there is no stable network because we made some of the component native for the dealers. So at that point, let me allow the product manager continue from here. And then afterwards we'll come back to tell you how we can partner and what we need to do. Thank you. Thank you. We're briefly going we're briefly going to look at the different use cases, right? The system is quite all encompassing. The system is all encompassing, and then everybody um, everybody was considered in the course of this at one point or the other. Even though we know that the very largest things, the rural dwellers are very key at heart while we're working on all of this. Next slide, thank you. So these are some of the problems which we have looked at when we took off this journey, right? Knowing that in Africa, our primary healthcare, you know, we know the level where it is, the practitioners in the industry who are in the house. So we know that our primary healthcare is very low. And we also know the issue of the brain drain, the shortages of our medical professionals who are leaving the environment, and a whole lot of that. The issue of high maternal and infant mortality, and all of these. These were some of the problems which we saw and took off on this journey. The poor access to healthcare, preventive medicine, and a whole lot of all that. These were some of the issues which we saw. And even though we know we have not been able to solve them 100% inside the system, but all of those are in the roadmap. As the product manager of the products, I can assure you that we have a lot in the roadmap. This is still just at the beginning phase of this product, right? So, what the high cost of, just like Prof was saying, a couple of times people who visit healthcare systems, a lot of them most of the times are more of advisory, right? And then you have to go beyond all of those long queues, and then many of them are going to be coming from the rural places, trying to access it in the urban. Some of those things can be done just within the confines of their environment without having to step, out. And then we also know, go to the next slide. We also know too well that some of these rural dwellers, they don't even have devices. That's why Prof was showing us about the devices. They don't have smart devices. Some of them, they don't even have internet access. That's why we have made a room for an agency within the system. So somebody can come in, you train, you could have an agency booth, right? Let's say within a village, you train them, set it up, and then the people are able to go there, sign up. When they have health issues, they go there, they assess it. Just the same way we make calls those days in the villages when telephone wasn't that rampant. So people can go there, pay little stipends, or even organizations can lift up a financial burden from them. We have all of those in the pipeline. We have all of those in the plans, right? Organizations can take it up, and then people go there just for very little fee, assess healthcare, meet their healthcare needs, and a whole lot of that. Now, these are some of the things which we have put in place. So it's a cost-effective platform, like we have said. Um, we have a monthly subscription for as little as 3,000 naira. Somebody is able to access healthcare. You're in the township. It's not every of the times that your people in the village are trying to reach you, maybe for your aged parents that you are available. You can put some money in the wallet for them. Just put in some 3,000 in the wallet for them, and they are able to have their healthcare covered for that period of time. This kind of scenarios. Of course, you've seen that we've digitized everything such that let's even say that a patient is moving from seeing a particular healthcare or a doctor to another, the records are there. So that the previous, all of those previous conversation and diagnosis that has happened, all of the interactions that has happened to deliver healthcare in the previous times, you find out that you are able to continue. The next doctor is able to take it further and continue from there. So all of those things are what we have properly packaged at the level of the digitization. So the system actually has memory. It connects you to doctors instantly. Like we said, on the doctor's end of the platform, by the time you're signing up, you sign up either as a doctor, as an agency, as an organization, as a patient. On the doctor's side of the system, we have behind the scenes vetting to be sure that these are qualified doctors, right? So you have access to them quickly. Um, you don't primarily, have to be at the hospital facilities. And of course, we also saw the hospitals near me feature so that in case you have emergency, you need to make referrals to physical healthcare facilities. We are able to quickly do that. And everything is run for, because as we aggregate this data, so we have all of this information on the system, like as we're looking into scaling, we should be able to have all of those data to make very well informed decisions. That's for policymakers, right? All of that is within the system. And I also heard when Prof was mentioning, we have our full cybersecurity team and quality assurance team fully on ground to make sure that data do not get exposed. We understand that these are medical or these are healthcare records, and they are not meant to get exposed. We are NDPA compliant, we also, as well as HIPAA compliance. So all of those things, we are mindful of them, and we have critically considered them in the course of developing these solutions. Of course, it reduces pressures on the hospitals. Of course, most times in our hospitals, in our local environments, that's the village settings, we find out that what is mostly available is the government hospitals. And a couple of times you see that they are under pressures, they are underused, and a whole lot of that. So some people can as well, those who do not have critical cases can, in their various homes or just within their books, assess the same thing they would have gone to the government hospitals. So taking away the pressures from them. For chronic health cases, for showing the devices, monitoring your vital signs, and a whole lot of that. These devices as well takes care of that, right? Thank you. So go to the next slide. Um, Within the period of 90 days, we are looking at how far we can cover. But all of this is going to be possible you contributing your quota. Your quota could be that you have a voice out there. Your quota could be that you're sponsoring, you're partnering with us, you're signing up with us. Your quota could even be as little as you see a post about it, you're posting, you're sharing it, you're disseminating the information so that you may not know whose life you're saving actually as you share some of these things, right? All of those you can as well, let's say you're a political exposed person, you can as well use some of these things to help your community, the people, your communities, the people you are representing, right? I heard one of the speakers mentioning that healthcare is actually a basic need, right? And if you are politically exposed or you're serving your people and you're able to bring healthcare, things like this, closer to them, I think it's a good score on for you also as one who is representing them. Of course, with that you can so that you can have them as the legacy projects, you know, if it is sustained, of course, which we hope that you should be able to sustain them, all of that. So we are looking at friends who are politically exposed to coming to with us. So you could be the one to reach out to them, you could be the one to talk to them. They can see to hear your sharing or your disseminating the information. All of that, like I said when I started, all hands must be on deck in one way or the other. You have a role to play. I have a role to play. And we're contributing our own quota to see that healthcare access for us in Nigeria and Africa is delivered efficiently. People get their healthcare needs. Thank you. Go to the next slide.
Excellent.
Okay. Yes. For people who want to, for business leaders, for some of those of us who want to do investment, yes, we're open to investment, we're open to partnership, we're open to third-party integrations. It's possible you already have a system, but you want our systems to be able to talk to your own talk to us. You can have your EMRs, your electronic health record or medical records. You can even have some other standalone systems that you're already using, right? All of those third-party operations or interoperabilities, all of those possibilities exist. We consider all of that while we are building the system. If you're coming in, there's prospect in it. That's the truth. We can solve a whole lot of problems with this, with both the telemedicine platform, which is the MySmartMedic, the one I displayed earlier on, with both the wearables, and we're also looking at diagnostics. We already have that, but we didn't integrate it yet. Where you're able to take your lab results and you upload it onto the platform, and then it takes it on from there, gives you a whole lot of result. You see the diagnosis, write it to the route it to the correct specialists who are going to take it off from there, and a whole lot of that with the use of AI. We're actually big on AI, so we're able to do all of those behind the scenes with AI. Of course, we also have plans in the roadmap for e-pharmacy, right? For e-pharmacy, where you can get your drugs or medications dispensed to you in whatever format, whatever delivery method you want it per time. We have all of that. We have a module for that, even though we have not fully implemented that. All of those are within the roadmap of this product. Talking about corporate health services, HMOs, insurances, and a whole lot of all this. Then around the final part where you see the AI-powered chronic disease management, by the time we have a lot of data within the system, our AI system is able to make predictions, right, of future cases, people who are going to be prone to XYZ by the reason of all of this data and information in the system. So it's able to make predictions. When you've been hitting a lot of these are the things that are most likely going to happen in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years of your life. Take down on these, take this, so that we are tilting a little bit more to preventive medicine instead of curative, just around that part. And I think I will be stopping there for now. But the work is big, the work is huge, and we have just started. We need you to contribute your quota in any little way so that healthcare delivery and access is fully covered in Nigeria and Africa. Thank you.
Mr. Betel, thank you. Okay, I think Prof is available now for keynote address. Professor Mohammed Okar is available. Really, can we have volume, please, so we can proceed? Hello, Prof. Should I ask you? Hello, Prof. Hello. Hello, Prof. Yes, we can hear you, Prof. Hello. Hello, I can hear you. Like, can you guys just send me a message on this message box to check his volume? He's able to hear me. Can we connect from here? Let's increase. Professor, please, can you increase your volume? Can you increase your volume, sir? I think he says mouse, yes. Yes. I know. All of we received well we go for growth. We have to find my volume. All right, joining us now is Barrister Alexander Owen, representing the National Commissioner, CEO of Nigeria Data Protection Commission. So here, Barrister Owen, you're welcome, sir. That's the other from here. All right. All right. Um, so giving message this afternoon, I'd like to invite the representative of Her Excellency Norma Ochacho Korocha. Let's put her together for her to come. Also representing Modi here. Let's put her together for her.
afternoon, everybody. I'm going to stand on resistance protocol. My name is Yonine Nyejui. It is so good to be here. So, Her Excellency is unavoidably absent at the moment, and she sends her goodwill to all of us here. Distinguished dignitaries, esteemed representatives of government, revered leaders of the private sector, development partners, health experts, innovators, and cherished members of civil society, I greet you with profound respect. It is an honor and a privilege to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of Her Excellency Zinaria Noma Chichi Rochas Korecha. She's the founder of the Women of Divine Destiny Initiative. Her Excellency extends her warmest felicitation to this exceptional gathering, and she conveys her deep admiration to MySmartMedic for organizing this timely and visionary round table. Today, we are not merely seated in one table. We are gathered at the crossroads of possibility and responsibility. We meet at a time when Africa stands on the threshold of a new healthcare era, a time when innovation has opened doors that were once unimaginable. Telemedicine and digital health access are no longer distant concepts. They are the bridges that can carry our continents from disparity to dignity, from scarcity to hope, from vulnerability to resilience. For millions across Africa, women in remote villages, children in underserved communities, families who have long endured preventive suffering, digital health is not just technology. It is the promise of life, the assurance of timely care, and the comfort of knowing that distance no longer defines our destiny. Her Excellency, through Woody, has consistently championed the welfare of women, youth, and adolescents, families too, guided by a conviction that compassion must be paired with action, and that true progress must be felt in the lives of ordinary people. Woody believes profoundly that health equity is the foundation of human dignity. A mother should not have to travel miles in pain to find help. A child should not be deprived of care because of geography. A family should not descend into hardship because healthcare is out of reach. Telemedicine gives us the opportunity to rewrite the stories, to turn fear into assurance, to replace delay with swift intervention, and to ensure that hope reaches every corner of our continent. Her Excellency is deeply moved by the purpose of today's gathering and stands firmly behind the mission to expand digital access to healthcare, especially for vulnerable. If there is one truth that echoes through Africa's If there's one truth that echoes through Africa's development journey, it is this. We rise higher when we rise together. This engagement brings together the power of partnership, the wisdom of the government, the agility of the private sector, the heart of the non-profit organization, and the brilliance of innovation. For telemedicine to thrive, our efforts must be unified and bold. We must craft supportive policies. Now, this is to the government. We must invest in digital infrastructure. We must build trust within communities. We must design inclusive solutions that honor the realities of everyday people. The future of African healthcare depends on what we choose to do in moments like this. When minds meet, when hearts align, and when commitment becomes action. On behalf of Her Excellency, I extend a passionate appeal. Let us not leave this room with ideas alone. Let us leave with resolutions. Resolutions to build systems that reach every home. Resolutions to innovate with compassion. Resolutions to ensure that technology becomes the servant of humanity. not a privilege for few. Resolutions to transform Africa's health outcomes for generations to come. The path ahead will be very long, but a journey that changes history with a single determined step is what we are taking today. Her Excellency celebrates the vision of my smart medic and salutes every participant for your dedication, for your expertise, and your steadfast commitment to a healthier Africa. May this roundtable ignite collaborations that endure, inspire innovations that uplift, and of course, cultivate solutions that speak to the deepest needs of our people. On behalf of Her Excellency, I wish you a fruitful celebration and outcomes that will be echoed beyond this world. People need to hear the beautiful thing we have going on in my smart life. Thank you very much and have a beautiful celebration.
All right, thank you. I think what is set for us now. Still working on this. All right. During the Google message, the last Google message, we had joining us Dr. Olukumi Jala, who is the National Director of the National Center for Artificial and Robotics. Yeah, which I suppose is going to be your welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. And also, we're going to be taking a Google message now from the Managing Director of the North Central Development Commission, Dr. Cyril Samuel. Please put some hands together for him as he comes forward. Come on. And I will snap lyrics. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Cyril Samuel. I'm managing director of North Central Development Fund. So before this, permit me please leave the this history. It's a time well spent
I wish to express my profound appreciation for the impact of this event. Guys, please join me at this important roundtable on telemedicine and digital health access in Africa. It's a privilege to be part of a gathering focused on shaping the future of healthcare delivery in our concept and extension Nigeria. Let me express my sincere appreciation to my smart medics and the Unicorn for convening this timely engagement and for bringing together voices that matter in advancing healthcare innovation and access to health. Healthcare health is not a privilege, it is a fundamental right. Yet, across much of Africa, and particularly Nigeria, in underserved rural and hard to reach communities, access to quality health remains a global challenge. Long distances, shortage of skilled health workers, poor infrastructure, and limited resources continue to widen between the urban and the rural healthcare delivery system. Today, we are presented with a historic opportunity to bridge the gap between technology, telemedicine, digital health platforms, electronic medical records, mobile health applications, and AI-supported diagnostics are no longer futuristic programs. They are practical and scalable solutions that can transform lives across all nations. Through these innovations, a mother in a remote village like mine can consult a specialist hundreds of kilometers away. A community health worker can receive real-time guidance, and a patient's record can safely access anywhere, improving continuity of one record to the other. This roundtable discussion is not just a conversation, it's a call to action. We must develop frameworks that encourage innovation, attract responsible investments, and promote strong public-private partnerships. We must create policies that are flexible enough to support innovation while being firm enough to protect the public interest and patient safety. At the North Central Development Commission, which is a new commission, we see digital health as a strategic tool for regional development. We recognize that strong health systems are the foundation for productivity and good society, stability, and sustainable growth. This is why the North Central Development Commission is committed to supporting initiatives like this that can strengthen healthcare infrastructure, empower health workers through digital training, and improve lives and long-life connectivity in our communities. However, technology alone cannot do it alone. Collaboration remains the key. Government, private sector, innovation, development partners, telecom companies, academic institutions, and civil society must work together, build affordable, accessible, and secure digital health ecosystems. We must ensure that solutions are designed with our people in mind, solutions that are simple, inclusive, and adaptable to local realities. We must also prioritize data protection, like you have said, ethical standard, and trust building. Digital health can only succeed when citizens are confident that their information is safe, their privacy is respected, and their dignity is upheld. As we celebrate today, I encourage all to move beyond conversation to concrete actions. Pilot projects, regional partnerships, and sustainable funding models that can be scaled across our communities and the extension the development vision. North Central geopolitical region stands ready to serve as a testing ground for innovation like this. We are therefore saying that even the FCT might impose it to go into what it was in 5 years. And our mandate for that doctrine. So why we carry out the call of teacher because this innovation is being channeled or championed by one of our
company, which is the FCT. So by and large, I thank you all for the opportunity to be part of this of the important dialogue. And I look forward to the outcomes of our discussion and the partnership that will emerge from this innovation. Most central and global community is standing ready before our community. Thank you very much. Right, let's also before compose food message and AG teacher name and Joseph DG on the chat is the shuttle for projects that are for it. Comes all positions together. Second, regular engagement, which is like listening to what person was found in the guys of like yeah, this is an issue. The times is so the offense just because of that. This and what the discussions we were planning started with my husband and I feel parents not yes the oceans and the recipients and the second particularly getting information on how the access involves that Nigeria is before into technology advancement. Because we have already far different in terms of health access by the rural areas. So this is a kind of development that would allow Nigeria to action and get forward into the future. I hope that the future systems will do others too in terms of making this project very, very successful. And the Canada, don't rule out politicians going out. Okay, because company they do work. They do find of the most experienced and intelligent doctors and engineers. It is also the doctors that are here who don't want to go to other areas to stay because they probably can't. You know, you can't go to see you can go or somewhere. It's just natural to always things. So we have some leaders in agreements to get all this exported. Once again, I used to get chips, one of us, yeah, one of it. And the homework when we meet again is to understand or count all successful sentences. Yeah, thank you. I think we're set now for that.
Yes. Yes. So I can ask them like this. I guess. I think this one's inside. Policymakers in a very political role in that country, which maybe like is ambassador President Muhammad Khan, the cabinet ambassador to Switzerland, and governor of the United Kingdom. And all international organizations and support vectors of the hearing market. It is indeed a honor to join you for this technical that I'm not. I'm very nervous. One references to maybe start writing the reality. The identity of how countries reform is to that way. So we have one promise, one of license, and like what else? How more chips. Sense and services. In short, this is management with some you know, in many aspects, seeking my head. There are no can you please that one phone? No, that no. The phone is not well. You know, so come on, you can conclude the answer for my result. Hey, look. They both have a big supply of dollars to talk that CPD. Now, one is that hopefully, one is one is clear. One is clear. We're bringing it's not like cold right now. Sure. Sure. What do you have? Just it's going to read our views on charging the so that's also that's also something was is forest village fire that doesn't the intent results from now as only the thing that is governments are no longer experimental armies. They are particularly dependent on us capable of transforming how see gas is delivered, how the president was as the context and how system of refugee. This is then rich, which I was supposed to look into from the country, shelter, some images across the like four positions, including one out, the spiritual load certificate, and including practitioners with real-time physician support and digital diagnosis. They create incentives for our young medical professionals to stay through hybrid work models, additional income streams, and continuous professional development. Systems will from anywhere at any time. Most important, digital health enables us to shift from great train to
great gain or great circulation. Our diaspora physicians can then teach and consult remotely. Our specialists abroad can support very complex cases in real time. Having steps worldwide shows that countries with strong digital health networks retain more of their health workforce. But then return, technology alone worth delivering to. To unlock these benefits, we must continuously to member create effective online education systems. Housing, trust that some percent investment in the where I mean, like locations and nursing programs. And what medicines have
There's one about my business. It was nothing. Is it a it's in call up seeing you. Seeing. What would you see in the
So you want to think integrating the gym that the smart medics will contribute. So let's smart. Thank you very much, Paul. At this juncture, we can proceed with the unveiling, and we'll have a very serious unveiling to here. I'd like to make welcome on stage Alhaji Tijani and Chumsa. All right, so before we get into your unveiling, while that's going on, feel free to scan this QR code for partnership, for inquiries or announcements, or anything, any information you want concerning my smart medics to be part of this development goal and products. Please feel free to scan this while we, head over to the unveiling. Let me make welcome Alhaji Tijani and Chumsar, opportunity as it comes forward. Also, Dr. Cyril Samuel, now we can get a for him. Dr. Ajala Olukumi, help me welcome on forward. Dr. Emeka Moma, help me welcome him forward. Dr. Chika Echi, help me welcome her forward. Yes, please come. Please come. And also the chairman is coming here. Yes, Mrs. Patience, representing the Director of Public Health at the Federal Ministry of Health. Please come forward, ma'am. Just
Cross one. I need to insist. It's not live at you.
Yes, the honor.
You don't do my phones, nigga.
So to you.
I'm live, man, dude.
Again, I'm back. Good afternoon, all. This is another rare privilege given to all of us here in front of one of you to unveil an innovation that has been driven by one of our young minds right in telemedicine in Nigeria. Quite sure all of us are highly elated with this statement. That's why we came up early. So I want on behalf of all of us to unveil this in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. To the glory of humanity, whole not just by extension, the whole of Africa. Thank you very much. Right, what I'm just saying is the official unveiling of SmartMedic. Please put your hands together. All right, just take some pictures quickly.
Yes. The need lights, yes.
Well, some of the impressive are very back down. Oh, but it's quite, there's some more out to the right. Don't see whatever about this. Let me ask that difference. Something cheating of the lights.
Well, they've been doing it all. Resolving it. Everybody accept it, that's so close. Standing on the road.
So,
No, no, no style.
I think it's now.
You give me enough. Don't stop, Joy. Did that become to God?
What we give it? What we giving it? All right. We'll be hearing from Dr. Ajala very soon. We'll speaking for himself and also the Honorable Minister. But before then,
Bro.
let's make welcome
Bro.
Shoma Kremen.
Bro,
Yes.
Bro.
Let's just get that for her.
bro, Nedu, Nedu.
Sorry, no, this.
Still standing on the same for I think our first and foremost express in your favorite congratulations to you. To whoever happens to be we were bringing over there. Congratulations your goals and one of the right have done with future trying to set up smart living. Just to say, short story before I go on roll. Proud to my children are and you would want to make it from each one, even stupid, was one from stood up and one day before for my dad happens to be a member of something. This yeah, not one of the minutes. Yes. Dr. Chika. Well, I managed
I come on down.
Male is oh, you're really
Before
Oh, now they said a lot of things about how every Christmas go from house to, taking care of the elderly, the sick, giving them free medications and all that. That was just what happened. And then my father-in-law instantly went down with me and the family. So talking about this is a great this is really, really a great or innovation, I would say, because for people who are having issues, not like that, couldn't see on which right now they can log on to this and then they get help because they don't something deserves. I, on behalf of my husband,
no, no, those was
support signal and
no,
subscribe
it was just you.
to this smart living for not just us, or the people of Igbo, and then by extension, to my own people, the still of Igbo, all in our states. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Please put your hands together again for our. Let me take the video message from Barrister Alex Fundi. He's representing the National Commissioner and CEO of Nigerian Data Protection Commission. Please put your hands together for me as he comes forward. So you ready to yes? My name is Barrister Alex here on it's what a lot of repetition commission received for election G. Reason I would be upset to remember used to other official engagements. We are in from the beginning, possibly, and really want to just like on this platform, these high levels conversation at a time when the digital transformation of healthcare is not only inevitable but critical for achieving universal health coverage, strengthening health systems, and expanding access to undeserving populations across our continents. The truth is that digital health platforms, telemedicine, electronic medical records, AI-powered dialysis, remote monitoring, and mobile outreach have become essential tools in bridging healthcare access gaps. They offer speed, scalability, affordability, and reach. But with this transformation comes a profound responsibility. That is to ensure that the very data powering digital healthcare does not become a threat to the dignity, privacy, or security of the individuals we are trying to serve. As Africa has embraced digital health innovation, trust becomes the currency that determines adoption, sustainability, and long-term impact. And this is why the Nigeria Data Protection Act and the work of the are indispensable pillars in building an incredible and trustworthy digital health ecosystem. Healthcare is a sensitive domain. Telemedicine platforms routinely process biometric data, genetic information, clinical notes, and diagnosis. Prescriptions, mental health information, and sometimes job, location, and lifestyle data. Under the NDP Act, this provider what we call sensitive personal data require the highest level of protection. The law provides clear obligations for telemedicine providers, such as privacy and security by design, which entails our hospitals, digital health startups, HMOs, pharmaceutical platforms, and technology partners must enter data protection from the architecture stage, not just as an afterthought. Number two is lawful basis and explicit consent. For medical and medicine services, explicit informed and unambiguous consent is often required, particularly where remote consultations and automated decision-making tools are deployed. Or the principles by processing personal data, it is quite important that you collect only what is needed. Maintain it only for as long as necessary and use it only for the purpose communicated to the users. You must also implement heightened security controls, including encryption for data at rest and data in transit, access management, audits, and incident response. And for cross-border data transfer, telemedicine often involves cross-border cloud hosting, remote specialists, or foreign technology partners. NDPC requires adequacy standards, and of course, using the adequate standard culture clauses and also our commission's approved safeguards. These requirements are not barriers to innovation, they are enablers of trust, safety, and long-term scalability. Under our General Application and Implementation Directive, which is a document we issued recently, telemedicine and digital health providers. We must also implement what we call data protection impact assessment to assess vulnerabilities on your platforms in order to ensure privacy. We must have mandatory records of processing activities, third-party risk management, secure authentication and access, accountability, and monitoring this.
This means that startups like MySmartMedic and all digital health innovators have a clear compliance pathway that balances innovation with responsibility. I would like to end by saying that telemedicine holds transformative promise, but innovation without trust leads to resistance. Trust without innovation leads to stagnation. Our responsibility, government, private sector, development partners, is to achieve goals. So to the innovators, build solutions that protect people, not just systems. To government agencies, to adopt digital tools, but adopt them responsibly. To development partners, support Africa's digital health ecosystem with both funding and capacity building in better governance. To every stakeholder present, let us work together to ensure that Africa's digital health revolution is built on trust, dignity, privacy, and security. On behalf of the National Commissioner, I welcome the commitment of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission to support digital health innovation, protect patients' rights, strengthen regulatory clarity, promote responsible use of emerging technologies, and build a trusted, inclusive, secure digital future for Nigeria and Africa. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Okay, to wrap up the Google messages, we have Dr. Olubumi Ajala, who's the National Director of National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, also representing the Honorable Minister for Communications and Digital Economy. Let's make welcome Dr. Olubumi Ajala for his message. We present together for him. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I was calling for Rantu. So I was expecting to make a speech. Well, for a grand event like this, I think this is not the first time I'm saying congratulations for your choose. I think you know actually I've always visited one of the few entities that visited us. I've gone around these facilities, I've seen kind of final facilities, stuff on the soil. What is this very important that is from myself? And I'm also always key to the people reach a lot of people. One push this aside, low cost. When you facts, got it. 200 million of the constitution speaking. Secondly, you have savvy tech savvy along, and so when you look at the challenges and you look at the so what I want to say, because what I've had, there are three major areas we've spoken of: policy, infrastructure, and collaboration. Now, in this area, in this short time, because we say, just give your speech and then last person speaking, and none of them to wrap up this. But some of us will be here and want to say that as good as one income might be, but when you get to the villages, there's no income. And that is why the ministry, so I'm now talking to see me moving from Center for Artificial Intelligence to what the ministry is doing on behalf of their employees. Communication with the state. I mean, of course, we're of the 774 project. Okay, so what 774 project is saying is for us, for technology like this to really have their transformations, we must have connectivity. And we still have over 20 million Nigerians that have no access at all to internet. So what Project 774 is doing is every local government should have at least an internet. And we're leveraging on that, combining with NICOMSA, because with NICOMSA, we could basically pin internet to locations because Nigeria is one of the nations in West Africa now we have our own satellite. Now we can push capacity to that. So Project 774 is actually going to facilitate use of this. Many of us were aware about the 90,000 kilometer fiber project. And that is the biggest we're talking on. Now, if we talk about what bank support for infrastructure, that is the biggest what bank has done. And I've had speakers speaking about public-private partnership. When you look at it, let's imagine telco, like realization of telecommunication, it's over 20 years. Nigeria has less than 40,000 fiber backbone. We've got to over 70,000 when you look at highway, interstates. When you look at the backbone, we have less than 35,000. So we're saying in 3 years, we're doing 90,000 to make it to 120,000.
Joe,
And what that means
Alpha.
is every state we have a link, every local government we have a link, every ward we have a link. So when I help people talking about infrastructure, these are part of what government is doing to make sure solutions to what we are doing can work. And you see, as part of Nigerian government, Nigeria is now proposing something like 49%, where about 51% is by public private sector. And it's that launch where you have broadband, AFT, operating about now moving to 41%. And that is almost done. The second part I would like to talk about is when you've done this, there's another aspect where you need to be aware of what the government is doing. Interoperability and data platform, which I've had spoken about. So this will be more efficient if we move away from what you can do. And let me say, MySmartMedic so that this government is can do that. You must use the data exchange. Nigeria has one of the best payment platforms. We have one of the best when it comes to payment, then we have all the second one. That's the limit. About 90% of Nigeria have about 100 million are lighting between. So that lighting, the only missing is election. What Nigerian government is doing, even though it doesn't take the time to speak to policy, and that means that section with what money is doing. When we try to use the Indian approach, like Unicorn, we have problem. If Unicorn needs to assess its need, some of these funds, these people are paid. Unicorn does not even need to go through them. All you need is the name. And with API code, you need 22 bar. But you can imagine if you now have NIPS to bring all their data set to one place so that Unicorn can update you. So that is why we've gone after the S2 approach, the Estonian approach, which allows all those agencies and entities to go directly. But we have an exchange where, based on access and permission, people like your smart can be able to access. So when you have me, you basically have all the details. I don't need to start formulating and getting the page and that. The other in terms of where it's connected, Ministry of Health will give access to you based on approved access and using authorization you are able to start. And if there's anything blood bank or wherever or whatever, and if there's anything you need to look at with police, you are able to just make that work. So these are two areas, among other things, where they're very useful and make it already. And this is where it is. In the last 1 week, I can tell you, discussions like this have come up. I've been in 3 countries, introduced declaration of just in the week, or things around what we do. And let's get straight for Ghana, which we had Google Air Academy and was for Africans. And one of the solutions they presented is similar to this. Because the person from Fitch mentioned again, after the minister, just 2 days ago, you have to come back from Syria, from the Nigerian bilateral opinion, and health was part. Why I'm saying this is for you to see that we are becoming a leader and we are making it easy. Where the guy from data protection. I don't want to speak like him, but we want to get under my ministry. And when they finished presenting in Ghana, and I told them that you should appreciate what Nigeria is doing to facilitate innovation, but not find innovation. There is one statement I will make. All of you presented solutions for short. And I can start from data protection. I can call from this. I can call from them. Well, what Nigeria has done, if you check, if you've gone through this bill that has gone through the house,
e-governance and digital economy. Is actually to allow people like digital. So enable people like digital. What he's saying is, if you look at, if you look to strict GDPR, and that is why you find Europe is a big flag. And when you look at some states in America, is even you cannot even make automated decision with AI or X. But Nigeria has not gone that route. It's a balance that was one project. And that is where collaboration will come in. So that we can see what you do. I know I've seen the teams when you've got smart AI team, collaboration from that side. I don't want to waste your time, but honestly, let's give a round of applause for reading also.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. One more time, please help me put words together for Dr. Ajala Olubumi. Such an insightful speech there. You know, it's coming from a technical point of view. All right, to wrap it up, I'd like to make welcome Professor Chuks Equipment, the chairman of Unicom Group, to give us a bit of thanks and close us.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate everybody standing on existing protocol. We thank you for taking our time to be here. I want to take away from this strong open so the policy are already better about initiative and that's why platform we make the change. So we feel like we can go seriously standing the started conversation immediately. And I want to also tell you that Kenya have invited also to come to the national. So smart media think about it and when you program is right, we can still that it's a that's the area about shifting that's it's a harvest. So we all particularly
Well, I think our special case of honor, please, when you go out, the friends want to speak with you. Kindly oblige them the chance to speak with you on your way out. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm going to get it. I stop recording.